It does seem to take longer than Twitch do. Boom, boom. Receiving your content. The internet can totally see you now, which means I can tweet that here. And what's up, guys? This is Matt, and that's Dan, and that's Opie over there, and this is our live Game of Thrones after show. We just finished watching Season 6, Episode 4, which aired on Sunday, May 15th, and things happened.
Things did happen.
Things happened as they tend to do in Game of Thrones. Let's see. What did you guys think before we start running through it?
I thought it was a really good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it, like we said last week, hold on, I'm going to sneeze.
Yep.
Okay, no, I'm good. Wait for it. Never mind. I think the episodes get better and better. And I still think that with this episode.
Yeah, you're not getting a lot of action in this episode. There's a lot of it's another, we've said a lot of episodes have been setting up episodes, but these kind of put some pieces of the puzzle together and you start to see some things develop. So it's going to climax in an epic explosion all over my face.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, I thought it was all right. I was a little bit bored with it until things started happening. But there was
So you were bored during the opening credits, and then the show started, and you're like, whoa.
No, it was good. I liked. There was a couple. As we go through it, I'll talk about the things that I really liked. There was a couple of storylines I had in this one that I was really excited about. So,
Yes.
So go ahead and carry us on through it, Dan.
Okay, let me get my yawn out of the way because I had such a great time in that episode.
Yep.
So as we do every week,
Dan loved this episode. It was the best. I loved it.
As we do every week, we go scene by scene and we break it down. I make lots of notes, things for the viewers to see.
Wow.
So here we go. It starts off with a shot of old, what's the name of this sword? It's a Valyrian steel sword. Is it Claw or something?
It's Claw, I think.
Anyways, so you have a faded Night's Watch guy in the back, ends up being Edison. He comes up, picks up the sword, and passes it to John, and he's kind of bugging him, like, what are you going to do? John's like, I'm going to go south, get warm, maybe, go to the Keys, get some sun. I'm really, really pale.
Long Claw.
Long Claw, thank you. And it's like, no, you know what's out there. I was with you at Hardhome, and we saw what happened and what got destroyed and what's coming our way. You can't just leave right now. And John's like, dude, my watch is over. It's done. He's like, no, it's not. You need to be here with these guys and help us out. Well, while this is all going on, we hear Horn Blast, and the gates open, and we see Sansa and Podrick and Brienne come riding in. And there's a really cool, I thought, a really cool reunion between brother and sister.
And this was one of the things that I love. Sansa and Jon Snow back together, two of my favorite characters. Yeah, so that
there you go.
That was good. Let me ask you this real quick, because at the end of in the the inside the episode bit at the end of the show, this episode, they mentioned that Jon Snow and Sansa had never been on screen together, but weren't they together? Like season 1, like the first episode?
I was trying to think of that. There's a scene where they're both in the feast for a short while, but they're not together. John's sitting at the back of the room, and the cameras are shooting him, and then he would go to the front of the room where Sansa is shooting up there. So they may have never been on set at the same time, doing their part. It's the only time they would have been near each other, or even, I guess maybe when everybody was leaving Winterfell, but I don't know if John was there when Sansa and all them had left. He may have left a little bit later. Or a little bit earlier.
He out hacking on a dummy when they were in the feast?
Yeah. He went outside, and Benjen Stark came out and talked to him for a little while.
I didn't think they won't let him in the feast because
he came in, and he was just in the back row with everybody else with his uncle and talking to him. But yeah, he didn't stay long in there. So yeah, I guess they may never had a scene together. Nothing that they were talking to each other at least did. It goes from there. You got Sansa and him. They're warming by the fire, reminiscing about, we never should have left Winterfell. All these different things. And Sansa's like, where will you go? He's like, where will we go? Because you're going to stay with me now. And she's like, we need to go home. And she's like, we need to take Winterfell back. John's like, I'm done fighting. She's like, you need to fight to get her home back. You have the wildlings. It's like, it's not their fight. And Sansa pretty much says, I'm going with you or without you. So I want to get my home back, pretty much, was her final statement there.
She said, this one right here, this is my dream, my wish, and it didn't come true. So I'm taking it back. I'm taking it all back.
She dived in like a foot of water.
So
more coins.
The one thing I didn't like about that, though, is it didn't go the way I wanted it to. I loved seeing them together, but I thought it was going to go. I didn't know for sure that he knew about Ramsey and everything that had happened. So I thought she was going to fill him in, and he was going to get super mega pissed and like want to stand up for his sister and say, get vengeance or whatever, and say, I'm going to go take care of him. But he was more passive. He was like, we can't. I understand when he said, I don't have an army. That's very smart of him to recognize that even if he charged down there all puffed up, he wasn't going to win.
Right.
But I kind of wanted him to be a little bit more, because I really want to see Jon Snow and Ramsay Bolton. But
well, he may not know everything that happened to Sansa. She may not have shared that stuff. So maybe that'll fire him up. But he gets fired up later on anyway.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
So he goes to Davos and Melisandre. They're kind of standing around. Davos asks her, what you going to do? She's like, I go where Jon commands. He's like, oh, so now you're under Jon's command now, huh? And she's like, well, he was the Princess Promise. He's like, oh, I thought Stannis was that. Oh, are you going to get it wrong again, Melisandre? What's up, girl? And she just kind of walks off, gives it the old snap, and just goes.
Help me out with the prince who was promised. What's that whole bit? What's that whole bit?
Azor Ahai, where they're reborn and they come back, and it could be something dealing with the Red God as well that she follows.
Yep. Okay. I thought it was that.
So they leave that point. Davos follows her down. He's like, "What happened down there?" And she kind of like, Stannis got wiped out. And then Brienne walks up and she's like, "Yeah, I saw it. Everybody got killed out there." And he's like, "Do you know who I am?" She's like, "Do you know who I am?"
Yeah.
I know about your red magic and your voodoo prophecy junk and your smoke monster.
And your smoke baby, yeah. Which was interesting because when they first were interacting with each other, I didn't put two and two together that wait a second. Oh, yeah. She was kind of responsible for the death of Renly. Yeah. When Brienne was, his guard or whatever, it didn't all click for me at first. But I was like, oh crap, they probably hate each other, and they do.
And so now I was like, that's in the past. We're cool.
Yeah,
it's totally cool. Whatever. And she's like, yeah, we'll see what happens in the past. Blah blah blah. And she's like, oh yeah, I killed your king, and he confessed right before he died. I don't remember him confessing, but she says he did.
Well, that was the death scene that we were kind of cheated out of, remember? Because it wasn't, we didn't even really see him die.
And he really wants to know about the princess, and nobody gives him a straight answer. Where they just say everybody got wiped out. And then Melisandre sneaks off, and Brienne walks away, and he's standing like, what? So that is it. Then we go to our great leader, the man, the myth, Lord Robin Aaron. And, he's showing these suckers, these military guys, how to shoot.
I'm the Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Look, I'm Green Arrow. I can do it. And he hasn't hit the bullseye or even hit the target, I think, at all. But we finally get Littlefinger back in the show. He's been gone for a little while. And it perks old Robin up. He comes running over. And Littlefinger gives him a gift of a falcon. And, just buttering him up, making him feel good. And Lord Royce is like, hey, so, when you left here, you said you were going somewhere. He's like, oh, yeah, we were going to get that done. It's like, but then we hear Sansa's married to somebody else. It's like, oh, we got jumped by all these people. It's like, Littlefinger, I don't know if I trust you so much with all this hearsay kind of thing. And Littlefinger plays it off like, he's like, I only told one person about where we were traveling to, and that person was you, Lord Royce. Mm-hmm. So what do you think? And so Royce's like, Robin goes, should we throw it through the moon door? What do you think? See him fly? And Lord Roy's like, hey. I love you, Robin. Me and you, bro. I'm by your side. I wouldn't lie. I don't tell anything wrong. Seriously.
And this is after Littlefinger gave him the equivalent of an Xbox in Westeros. It's a falcon.
And Rob's like, so what do you think, Uncle Peter? Peter's like, yeah, I still got the power here. He's like, yeah, we'll give him a second chance. And Roy's like, yeah, woo, team, us, let's do it.
Yeah, it was good to see. It was good to see Littlefinger. I've been missing him. We haven't seen him, I don't think, at all this season, right? Not yet.
No, not yet.
Nope, this is the first time. And Littlefinger lets Robin know that Sansa had escaped and was headed north to the wall where her brother was Lord Commander. And Robin's like, she is my cousin. We need to give her aid. And Peter's like, yeah, I was totally going to say the same thing. Me and you, same page. And this brings the Vale into the fight. So all those soldiers are going to start marching here soon.
Yep, so those guys with the wildlings from Castle Black, John's going to bring them, and they're going to meet in the middle.
You don't know if Littlefinger's going to follow behind Jon Snow yet. Littlefinger has his own agenda. Towards the end, they talk about how Sansa and him can bring the North together to go against Ramsay. Mm-hmm. We don't know if the Vale will be behind that, but if it's in Littlefinger's interest, he probably will. So it goes from there. We see a ship coming into port, and we see Tyrion and Varys, Grey Worm, and Melisandre all standing there, and we're like, all right. Tyrion's like, we're going to start talking to these slavers over here in Slaver's Bay, and we're going to negotiate. And Grey Worm and Melisandre are not excited about this at all. They're like, no, we've been slaves. These guys suck. We know how they suck. Tyrion's like, listen, we got to do something to stop something. I got to do one or the other, and this is the best way I know how to do it. So let me talk. Let me do my thing. Just back me up.
It's his job to know things.
Right, exactly.
And to talk.
The slavers come in, they're like, we want the Anteater dragons out of Slaver's Bay, quit bugging us, quit setting everything on fire. We're doing what we want to do. We've been doing it for thousands of years. You guys don't have the right to come in and stop that. Tyrion's like, listen, all right, seriously, we don't want to take your slaves away right now, but we want it to kind of stop.
We want to phase it out. We want a corporate restructuring, It's
So you guys stop paying the Sons of the Harpies. Oh, we're not paying them. Oh yeah, you're not paying them. If you can stop paying the Sons of the Harpies, we'll give you 7 years to fade this side out. We'll reimburse you for some of your slaves. Westeros hasn't had slaves in years, and they live high on the hog better than you guys do. So he's like, we'll do it this way. What do you think? It's kind of like got all their attention. He brings in some hoes from his brothel. He's like, take care of these gentlemen. They start heading out. Grey Worm and Melisandre are ticked off. Pretty much Varys knows that Tyrion's playing the right move here. He's not saying anything. And they come out. They got a bunch of upset slavers asking why are a bunch of slavers here. And Tyrion's got to explain it, but they're not listening to him because none of them trust him, but they trust Grey Worm and they trust Melisandre. And both of them back Tyrion up here, which was a good point. They took his side.
They weren't happy about it.
No, they're not happy about it at all, but they took his side to back him up. So it calmed the slaves from this area. And they get outside, and Grey Worm and Billy just kind of tear Tyrion up. They're just like, you're dumb, that was stupid, they're going to play you, you don't know these people. And I'm just sitting there going, well, you guys don't know Tyrion either. And he says the one thing that's the most important thing, which they say at the end of the show. You want me to stop a war because it's bad, you want to stop it now. You want me to stop slavery because it's bad, you want to stop it now. You can't have them both. You get one or the other right now. I can work with one, and we can fade the other out, and we'll get it in the long run, but it's not going to all stop right now.
Right, they have to choose between, what's the lesser of two evils, slavery or the Sons of the Harpies?
Right.
And they have to figure out which one they want to get rid of first. Did they do the right choice? I mean, did they make the right choice? Is it more important to wipe out the Sons of the Harpy first?
Yeah, get rid of those guys so you can start putting down laws and governing your people. They can see how Marine grows without slavery, for these 7 years if there is no enemy that they have to fight with.
Well, that's true, because even if you just end slavery right then, the Sons of the Harpies are going to get even more pissed and start killing whoever they need to.
Yeah. So that's going on right now, but I think he did the right thing. I think he made the right move.
And that's why Tyrion is awesome, because he recognizes that, and he understands.
Well, Varys gets it too. That's why Varys kept his mouth shut.
Yeah.
That whole thing. He's like, I know what he's doing. I know how he's playing this. This is smart. We go from there to Buddy Cop Show, Jorah and Dario. They're still in the search as detectives trying to find their lost leader. And
True Detective Season 3.
Dario's still making remarks like, I'm a young guy. I can handle her. You're kind of old. I don't think she'd like you.
I bet you're super pissed that she chose me instead of you.
Yeah, he's just totally stabbing at him, just nonstop through this whole trip. It's like, yeah, I'm doing her. You're not, man.
She's wild. You don't know.
Right. So they end
The
up
things
there
that
over
she
Vast-
does, you couldn't even imagine.
Right.
What a
They're
jerk.
over in Vastothraki and they're looking out and everything like that. And they decide we're going to go down there. We'll go after dark. We'll go in the area, but you can't take any weapons in there because it's a holy place. You're not allowed any weapons. So they're taking off all their gear and putting it away. And Dario kind of finds out that old Jorah has the stone men.
The stone skin.
syndrome. Yeah. He's got sons of the herpes. And
What? That's not.
I think that's what it's called.
That's not what it's.
It's something like that. He's got the thing syndrome. And he's kind of like, don't worry, please don't say anything, blah, blah. Dario's like, well, I'm going to just put my knife away myself. I don't want to.
His knife, which, by the way, has a naked lady as the handle.
So they move in at night. They get down there. You get they're moving around the town. They're trying to be quiet. They don't have any weapons. All of a sudden, of course, two Dothraki people find them. They start acting like merchants. They're like, yeah, man, we're cool. Don't
They're
worry
selling
about us.
wine.
Yeah, come down tomorrow. We'll hook you up, bro. And they're not having it. They're like, you don't look like this. And the fight ensues. And Dario has to chase down the little guy, snaps his neck, and Jorah gets his butt handed to him pretty much.
That's what I was thinking. Jorah cannot take a Dothraki soldier.
Not a young
You know?
fighter like
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
Maybe in a sword contest because he's more trained with the sword. He
Right.
could probably take him, but he probably couldn't take him.
I think
in
the
hand.
stone skins weakened him. That's the way I felt about it.
ooh.
Well, it could have.
I kind of thought he was going to touch him with the stone skin on his arm. Not that would do anything immediately, but I don't know. I thought that was going to come into play at some point.
So
Shut up, guys. I thought that's what was going to happen. You don't know me.
they kill a couple. They end up killing. They kill the one guy for snapping his neck. Jorah's getting choked out. Dario stabs him, brought the knife in like a dummy. Jorah's like, well, we got to make it look like he didn't get stabbed. We got to make it look completely different than that. And so they crack the skull of this guy. And I guess just smash in the wound spot from the stab. I'm guessing that's what happens there.
To make you look like he just got in a bar fight or whatever.
Right. So, did I not write that down? This goes into the next part, if I'm not mistaken, where Dany's inside the temple with all the women and are talking to them, right?
Right.
Okay, for some reason I didn't write that part down. I thought I did. So she's in there discussing stuff with all the other ladies. They're talking about the older ones and who each cow was and blah, blah, blah. Why this is important and why they hope that she lives through her, I guess, trial the next day or whatever it is, that night or something, and that she becomes one of the weeping widows there or whatever.
Yeah, they were mentioning that some of the older ones, I guess, are kind of set in their ways and more purist and think that Dothraki shouldn't lay with or marry non-Dothraki women.
Right. And then the younger ones are like, hey, he stole me out of a well when I was 12 years old. It wasn't really a love thing that we had going on.
Right.
So Cersei's like, I'm going to go create water out of thin air. Just boom. And
she really had to go pee, but she's going to make water. She's got to go make boom boom.
So one of the other Dothraki chicks go with her. As always, girls go to the bathroom together.
In pairs. She's like, oh, so what did you think about Cal? What's his face? Oh, he's cute, but he's silly.
So they get out there. They're talking. Dario puts a knife to chick's throat. And George shows up. They're like, whoa, don't kill her. And Dany's like, if we try to run, we'll be dead before we even get out of here. She's like, I got a plan. Don't worry about it. I got this in check. And they're like, okay, cool. Dario puts the knife away, and she tells the lady, like, you just stick with me. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine. And it kind of ends there for now.
For now.
We jump back over. We're at the High Sparrow's place. I don't know where he's at. The High Sept or something like that. I don't know.
He's in the headquarters. He's in the High Sparrow.
He's in Sparrow quarters.
He's in the corporate office.
That's right. We got Marjorie down in her jail, feeling sorry for herself. Ooh, I've been arrested.
I've been laying in the mud and I'm still super hot.
I forget that lady's name. That big lady.
May.
Whatever she is, drags her out to the temple room there, puts her on her knees, like to sit before the High Sparrow, and the High Sparrow kind of goes into another story. He's like, let me tell you about when I was a kid and what I did, and I used to make shoes, and they were pretty, and they got me money, and then I lived like a rich man, and this all happened, and blah blah blah.
And I drank and had women and all this stuff.
But I'm getting really fed up with his stories. I understand, and he makes her feel bad when she says, "I want to go back to my family." He's like, "Yeah, but your family has money and all this other stuff." So
Yeah.
is everybody evil if they have money? No, the Starks were not evil because they had money. They were good people. I don't understand why everybody with money is evil now.
Well, and I think he said, if I let you go right now, where would you go? She said, I would go back to my brother, my husband, and my family.
Yeah.
And that makes total sense. She's been locked up. She wants to go back to her family. But he says, oh, well, you just want to go back to get money and power.
Right.
Which I was like, no, that's your family. That's where she wants to be comforted,
Right.
This whole High Sparrow thing, I think this is the storyline that I'm not really into.
Yeah,
because I really don't
fed up with Mr. High and Mighty with no shoes on.
He just has way too much power.
Yeah.
For, you've got, I know Tommen is a kid and he doesn't really know what he's doing, but, you've got a king with an army and you've got the High Sparrow. He just seems like he has way too much power and nobody's doing anything about it.
If anybody attacks the High Sparrow, they will start a civil war in the town. And that's exactly what Cersei and them say later on, that a civil war is going to start if this happens. And they're right, because the poor will turn into an uprising, and it'll start a coup there in King's Landing.
Yeah.
And they have to be able to knock that down right along with taking out the High Sparrow at the same time.
I guess, but that's what, I don't know. Every time I see the High Sparrow, my eyes just, ugh.
So it goes from there. She leaves the discussion with him and she gets to see her brother. Loras is just beat down and scared and pretty much broken in the cell. And she keeps telling him, like, you need to stay strong. You need to stay who you are. And he's just like, no, I can't do that. I'm a big wimp. I am completely destroyed right now. I don't know what to do.
So what I was thinking about that whole thing is he's laying there in the dirt and he's all, like you said, broken and frail and crying. And he says he can't do it anymore. And the whole time I was just thinking, this is Iron Fist.
Right.
This is our Iron Fist that we're going to get, but he's, it's going to be different.
Right. So it goes from there, and you have Cersei walking down the hallway, and she hears somebody talking to her son. It's Maester Aemon. He's in there. I think it's Maester Aemon. I hope I'm getting his name right. He's in there speaking to Tommen about some things. And Cersei comes in and is like, nah, you shut up. You don't talk to my boy. I talked to my boy. You need to get out of here. And Tommen's like, just go. She's in her mood. And Cersei and Tommen kind of sit there to speak about the High Sparrow a little bit. And Tommen's like, I want to get them out, but I don't want to tick off the High Sparrow or cause a big craziness to happen when I try to get, or he doesn't want Marjorie hurt in the same way. And Cersei kind of tells him, like, first of all, your mother, I love you. I should be number one in your life, not this queen or whatever. And pretty much says kings and queens deserve respect, and this guy's not giving you any whatsoever. So,
do something about it.
Kind of saying Tommen, do something about it. Which then Cersei and Jaime go into the council meeting, and they get Lady, I forget her name. What do they call her? The Queen of Thorns?
Yeah.
They get her on their side because they're like, you want Marjorie back, we'll get Marjorie back, but we need your soldiers. We're going to have the king stand down with his, and we're use the Tyrell, right? The Tyrells. Mm-hmm. The Martells are from Dorne.
I always get them mixed up too. It's like, wait a second, which one are the Dorns and which?
Right,
yeah.
Martells are the Dorns, Tyrells are Highgarden.
Yeah.
So she's like, we'll use the Tyrells army. We will jump these guys right when Marjorie comes out. We'll get her real quick out of the way, and we'll just kill him. Take him out. And then even Cersei looks to her uncle and is like, you want your boy back too. You don't like what they've done to him. And that's when the whole talk of, well, if this happens, there's going to be a civil war and there's going to be a lot of death. And she's like, there's always a lot of, actually Queen of Thorns is like, there's always a lot of death when these things happen.
Better them than us.
Yeah, exactly.
Is exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So there is about to be some bloodshed in King's Landing.
It is about time because I'm really tired of, I don't know. I don't love the Lannisters, and I do like Marjorie. I like her a lot, but I don't like the Lannisters. I don't love the Tyrells except for Marjorie. But I am really sick of the High Sparrow. I want him gone.
You do. I know. You've said that.
You know. Yeah,
you know. I know that you know that I know you know. You know?
Yeah, he needs to go. It's time to do something.
So we leave that point and we go out where we come down onto a ship in the middle of a storm, and Rickon. Reek. I'm sorry, Reek.
Reek. And I was just, what?
I'm sorry, Theon.
Yeah, Theon.
Theon.
He is heading home. He's come back to the Storm Isles, and he kind of goes up to the throne room. He heard about his father being killed once they had finally landed. She kind of gives him the third degree and tears into him pretty big time. And he's just sitting there upset. She's like, don't you cry. Don't be upset. You look at me. You know, I lost men coming to save you, and then you turned on me. He's like, he broke me. He cut me. She's like, yeah, we got pieces of you here when he did it. And he's just all upset. And then he finally comes to the point where he's just like, I want you to be the king of the Isle, and I'll back you up and help you do it. And I think that kind of sways her a little bit. She's like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Like, because she thought that he came back because he heard that their father died and he wanted to be. Right. She thought that he came back because he wanted to be the king.
Right, but he doesn't want to.
All he wants to do the whole time she was saying, "Why are you here? Why are you here?" All he had to say was, "I just want to come home. Like, I've been through hell, and I lost my junk and I've been broken and." I just want to come home, and I really think that's all it is he just wants to get the hell out,
It's kind of like Sansa. I really think Sansa just wants to go back to
just wants to go home.
That's it. That's all she wants. So yeah, he tells Yara, he's like, yes, I will back you as the king if you go for it, and I will help you be the king. I just want to be home.
Wouldn't be queen?
Yeah, but whatever. Yeah. Better. So jumps from there, we go back to our favorite bad guy, Ramsay.
Oh.
Sitting there peeling an apple, just chilling in his room. They bring in the Wildling lady. I mean, try to look up her name.
Osha.
From the, what is it?
Osha.
Osha?
Yeah.
All right, so they bring in Osha. And they take a look around, and they close down the whole place because it's just not up to code. Osha jokes.
That guy.
So she comes in, and she kind of plays it that the Starks are not very important to her. She's like, oh, whatever. They put a sword to my neck and made me serve them, whatevs. Oh, yeah, the little kid, I was just trying to sell him. No big deal. She was playing it off. She actually cares about him. And she was playing it off like, whatever. They're not important to me. But then he kind of tells her, he's like, oh, well, then you're not important to me because I've got what I want. So you become nothing to me. And then she starts putting the moves on him. She's like, I can rock your world, son. And starts backing on him. And he keeps talking to her. And he's like, well, somebody told me that you helped them get out. And you did all this stuff and protected him. She kind of looks at him. And then, ka-chunk!
Cheek.
A nice little knife to the neck from Ramsay. And she bleeds out on the floor.
Which, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen her. We didn't see her all last season, and we've barely seen her this season. So the emotional there was not much of an attachment there.
Yeah, but it was still.
But it was still because she was one of the good ones.
Yep, she's a good.
And just damn Ramsay. Let me ask you this. So after that happened, I have a question. I have a question for you guys. I have a question for the chat. Who do we like to hate more, Joffrey or Ramsay?
I don't know. Joffrey was pretty bad. I didn't really care. I think you can't really compare them. You always have to have a bad guy. I don't know. They're both bad in their own way. Joffrey brought prostitutes in his room, shot him with crossbows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Ramsay took sweet little Sansa and just
Yeah, but Joffrey was bringing her in front of the court, ripping her clothes off. And having her beaten and whipped right there in front of the whole court. Mm-hmm. So I mean, they're both just dicks.
Psychos.
I mean, there's no way you can say it better. They're just, the douchebags.
I'm going to be sad when Ramsay's gone, though, because I do love to hate him. Like, I really like Ramsay just because he's such a bad guy. Like, he's such an evil guy.
Yeah, I think you need to clear him out. Maybe some of the stuff at King's Landing, and then you can really concentrate on the White Walker stuff that's happening and getting Dany over to.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Get rid of Ramsay, take care of that whole Lannister problem down in King's Landing, and then all that's left is, I feel like if you get rid of Ramsay, you get rid of the Lannisters. Everybody else will just sit down around the table and say, okay, let's figure out who should really be king, get that out of the way, and then the White Walkers are the real problem.
So we go to the gate opening at Castle Black again, and a Flame Man banner coming through the door. We go to dinner at Castle Black, which is kind of like dogs eating. They're just chowing down, enjoying their meal. In comes one of the Knights Watch, and he hands the note to John. And it is pretty much, hey, I've got your brother. I know my wife is up there and I want her back. You need to bring her here. You try to march on me, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to flay everybody. I'm going to rape your sister in front of you. We're going to eat the bodies. My dogs are going to eat all of you. We're going to flay you all alive. Just normal love note from Ramsay.
Yeah.
And
Normal Ramsay.
Typical Ramsay talk,
and
yeah.
And it's like XOXOXO. We're like,
Love ya.
And it kind of lights the fire under John there a little bit. When he turns, he's like, how many men do you have? To Giant's Bane. And Giant's Bane's like, we have 2,000. And Sansa's like, we have to do this. She kind of just coaxes him a little bit more, grabs his hand, like, we have to do this now. He will do everything he says he'll do from what he said in that letter. And John doesn't know that, but Sansa does. She's seen it happen, so firsthand. So I think we're building towards a really good battle that's going to happen.
Probably
North.
late in the season.
Yeah, we'll get a Jon Snow versus Ramsay at the battlefield kind of thing, hopefully.
If you think about Jon Snow, how much does he know about Ramsay? I mean, the last interaction he he's not been kept up to date with any of the stuff with Theon already.
He's probably heard that his sister was married to him from a raven. Probably heard that he took over as Warden of the North because his father died, which he knew that he probably
right, but he didn't know just how much of a miserable little.
And I don't know if Sansa's told him how bad he is. That's why when he said all this, John's like, he's just blowing smoke. She's like, no, he's not blowing smoke. Mm-hmm. He will straight up do every one of these things he says in his letter.
Well, that's what I wanted to see more of. I wanted to see more of John and Sansa, like Sansa filling him in on everything that had happened. That's when I thought at the beginning that we were going to get an episode, we were going to get a shot where she had just finished telling him everything, and then he was going to get fired up and want to go take care of him right then.
Well, that might not be something she wants to talk with her brother about.
Well,
he used to come to my room and rape me every night once we got married.
You don't know it was every night. You don't know that. We only saw it once.
She says it to Theon later on. She's like, he's here every night hurting me.
Oh.
In an earlier episode.
Well, we didn't see it, so we don't know.
The point is, that is something she doesn't want to tell her brother.
Right.
And so she's kind of kept that stuff to herself. But anyways, he knows he's a bad guy anyway. So we go from there to the final scene. And we have all the cows from all the Khalasods are there. And they're all hanging out in a council. And I guess they're deeming which women will stay and which women will go or whatever. And they're all coming before them. And Dany comes in and they take 30 minutes to go through her titles. And she comes in and she's talking to him. And they're talking to Dothraki, deciding what they're going to do. And then she starts talking to Dothraki. She's like, my husband was going to go across the sea. My husband had thousands of horses. My husband did this. My husband did that. All I see is a bunch of cows who are not as strong as what my husband was. You guys are kind of all weak. And the other one's like, whoa, check yourself. We will stab you. And, stuff.
Dude,
we'll have our way with you. Yeah. We'll let
Blood Riders will have their way with you, and then our horses.
And then the horses.
Yikes! And Dany kind of gets up there. She's like, "None of you are strong enough to lead this. I think I am, so I'm going to lead it." And they're that's when the laughter breaks out. They're all like, "Oh, check this out!" And that's when she burns them all alive. She knocks over all the braziers up in the middle. And somebody outside had locked the door. I guess it's Jorah and Dario had locked the door outside and killed the guards out front. And she burns the place to the ground and kills all the cows inside the building.
Yeah, apparently the hut or whatever you call it that they were meeting in, apparently that wasn't dirt on the ground. Apparently that was gunpowder. Because she knocks those things over, and it's like there's gunpowder or gasoline all over the floor or something. Whoosh, and it just...
Well, those were oil. They had oil in them.
Yeah.
Oh,
So when it's still on the floor, the oil
Right, it's
spills.
spread. And
Okay.
the wood, they're in the middle of the desert with very dry wood. That's
Yeah.
going to go up in about a second. So, she knocks them all over, standing in the middle, watches them all burn to death. And then, of course, in great Danny fashion, she comes walking out the front door perfectly fine.
yep.
And now the Dothraki belong to her, pretty much. I mean, that is the whole Dothraki race right there, one shot. You
And
just
they
got
all-
them all.
Yeah, and that's what they were talking about in the inside the episode is the entire. It wasn't just the first time, like when
Yeah.
the dragons were born. It was just a small like clan of them. This is the entire race have now
Yes.
witnessed her emerging unscathed from the fire.
Yeah. And she now has a much larger army than they thought before, and one that now has a great cavalry. And you have the Unsullied.
The Unsullied, right, and dragons.
And you have dragons. And now you've got all the Dothraki who are the horse lords. You've got a pretty freaking amazing army.
She should have walked out and just like Aaron Rodgers, like put on the belt.
Yeah.
You know.
Kind of double check.
That's right.
Yeah, she. I mean,
She is set. She has all the slaves from every city that she's freed them from. She has all the Unsullied, all of the Dothraki. Yeah.
I mean,
dragons.
she's pretty much the queen of the Eastern. What's it called? I keep wanting to call it the Eastern Kingdoms, but that's WoW.
The free cities, the free folk. I forget the
Not
name.
Westeros on the west. It's the other side.
Essos.
Essos. Yeah.
Essos.
She's pretty much the queen of Essos. I mean, she's freed the entire right side of the world. You know.
Yeah. So she's set, man. Well, now she's got to get all her ships back because they all burned in the bay while she was gone. But if she ever gets to Westeros with that army, forget about it.
It's over.
Forget about it. And that brings us to the end of episode 4 of Game of Thrones, which was really, really good. And we all thoroughly enjoyed it. And we thank you guys for being here and hanging out with us.
Yes.
So until next time, you can come to our YouTube channels, youtube.com/nerdpunch. Come to our Twitch, twitch.tv/nerdpunch. You can nerd punch us anywhere at nerdpunch on Twitter, nerdpunch.com, gmail.com/nerdpunch, facebook.com/nerdpunch. Anything with Nerd Punch. If it does social media, we've probably got Nerd Punch attached to it.
That's right. We got trademarked and patented, copyrighted.
There you go.
No, not
So
really.
Just come by and see us. We appreciate you hanging out and having fun with us and enjoying the stream tonight. We'll see you guys next week for episode 5. And until then, bye-bye.
See ya.
Thanks, Frank.